Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and we are here at the beautiful Hudson River Care and Counseling offices located at 310 Cedar Lane in Teaneck, New Jersey. And of course, you can visit them here or their Hoboken office, which is located at 63A 8th Street, as I mentioned, in Hoboken. And we're so honored and glad to have a special guest. We were here last month with the founder and CEO, Dr. Pam, but today we have the Director of Coaching Services here at HRCC, who is Yudy Cid. Yudy, how are you today?
Very, very good. Happy to be here. Thank you, Peter, for having me.
Exactly. And many people at home might see this face and say, hey, she looks like really, really familiar. And why is Peter rubbing his beard on air? It's because you're in the same type of line of business as I am, but I'm sure you're much better at it. You are in the media world. So I was wondering if you can explain to the audience what you do in the media world.
Basically, it's bringing mental health care, self-care to the mainstreams, particularly now in these times. But I started my work 5 years ago on the radio, talking to people about the importance of, a strained family relationship, healthy relationships, and it opened many, many doors. And that made me think that people really want content, that
Right.
It's heartfelt content, that really it's for their care, content that can really help them in life. And so many doors open after that, and now I am on a weekly basis on Univision and Despierta America. Those are the main actually Latin networks in the U.S.
That is fantastic. And I have to tell you, we have so many different great guests on the show that each have their own specialties. And I like to joke that I'm kind of like the media head of it, but Yudy's got me beat.
Actually, no. I mean, it sounds fancy, but it's really a very heartfelt job because when there is bad news, terrible, they call me at the last minute, and it's like you have to connect and bring people hope, bring people what can they do immediately. And so sometimes, it's fun, but sometimes it's really serious.
Absolutely. And what's amazing is what you bring to the television world and the media world, you do here at Hudson River Care and Counseling. So I guess my first question is, how long have you been here, and what does the Director of Coaching Services do at HRCC?
I'm so happy here. I've been working and collaborating at Hudson River Counseling Center for more than a year. I love the opportunity that Dr. Pam gave me right in the middle of the pandemic, right when people needed it the most. And I love it how we all restructure quickly to respond to the need, to the demand of people calling, and people having, for the most part, a lot of anxiety about everything and grieving on their own. Because we have to remember that it's almost like living a second pandemic where people felt like, they couldn't grieve with their loved ones and things like that. And we were here to respond. We're still responding. And so I love the opportunity that was open to us to really come and respond and do this work that most people need us at this time.
Exactly. And we spoke about this with Dr. Pam last month, just the pandemic and how she noticed that her clients, jumped through the roof because obviously mental health was so prevalent when you tell everybody they have to stay home and wear masks everywhere and so on and so forth. In terms of the clients that you work with, did you also see an expansion after the pandemic?
Absolutely, and also particularly families, and because that's my specialty, couples and family. So a lot of children from school having, like I said, anxiety, and then remember that schools were in structure, yet to offer the support, to do the interventions that we offer here. And so we were able to work with the whole family as to how to adapt to the changes, particularly a lot of kids being online for all day, and parents going crazy, having to adapt to different schedules, and also couples with a different dynamic. The dynamics change, and also really doing crisis interventions with couples so that they can, go through this crisis and know that things will, that everything, that they just need to adapt, and that things will get better in time.
So what's amazing, you look at children who are growing up in the pandemic, and obviously more and more states are lifting up their regulations when it comes to mask wearing, but I feel that that they're human sponges in a way. You know, whatever you're teaching them, you know, gets instilled with them throughout life. But, you know, to me, it's so difficult to teach a child that, look, your mask wearing is not normal. I mean, you know, you know, I'm sure you've seen, you know, obviously without getting into any type of confidential information, but plenty of clients coming in here, you know, who, you know, were affected by a lot of these mandates.
A lot. And another thing that's happening with that, it's also that a lot of children and even adults really
Absolutely.
are still got hooked up to that pattern of living, and now that things are opening up, they still locked in their rooms, they're still consuming a lot of social media. So I get a lot of interviews in the media, in the news, as to what can people do about that, because it's still present. Like kids got hooked up to that, and now they still want to spend hours and hours. And so that's it. We're still overcoming a lot of things, but I would say those are the main ones that we're working with.
Wow, I mean, and for Hudson River Care and Counseling to be here, you know, as really just a place to listen, I mean, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. A person comes here, a family comes here, adult or child. What type of services can they expect from Yudy?
What I love is the diversity. Many people call us and they want to work with a particular type of person, let's say in terms of maybe ethnicity or background or even their own personal religion, because, you know, in these times, faith is important, hope is important, you know, compassion is important, and they want to feel like they can really connect with someone that has their similar background, that might understand a specific uniqueness of them, and we offer that uniqueness, whether it is through ethnicity, you know, their background, specialty, or their own spirituality.
Well, Yudy, that is absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, I guess one of the things that's a little different than most people who go to work every day is this job brings that kind of different type of aspect. I'm sure each person that you meet with, you know, has, you know, their issues might be similar, but they're different as well, correct? So, you know, I guess what excites you coming into the office, or obviously visiting them on telehealth, you know, from client to client, so.
What excites me is believing in human potential. Also, people who call, people who take that extra step. How many people don't even make the call, don't even ask for the help? And just, I latch on to their, I would say, courage to make that phone call, their courage to want to change, the courage to say, I do need the help. And that heroic attitude of saying, no, I cannot stay in this situation anymore, I really want to change. And so that fills me up to say, yes, when you knock at a door, it shall be open. And so I really get blessed, or I would say energy inspires the word, by their courage to want to make a change in their lives.
Exactly. Asking for help is the first and most important step, as they say. Yudy, really quickly, because we have about 30 seconds left, if people want to utilize your service specifically here, they can do so on the website or by phone?
They can do it on the website, but because now we're working primarily virtually, they can call me directly at 646-234-3160. I'll be here to help.
Well, Yudy Cid, thank you so much. I could tell that you're in the media, outshining me here. I really, really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely.
Please do call. There is help. There is hope.
Thank you again. Really appreciate all the hard work that you and your colleagues do here at Hudson River Care and Counseling. Absolutely. All right, folks, from Hudson River Care and Counseling in Teaneck, New Jersey, we will be right back.